What is up, guys, and welcome back to Rags to Riches 3, the series where we go from one of the worst teams in F1 2009, work way through all the Codemasters games, and try and get a drive for one of the best teams in F1 2017. We are currently in the 2010 season. It is the British Grand Prix, my home Grand Prix, of course, so we will be looking to try and have a really good performance here today. But before we get into the episode, go catch up if you have missed any of the previous episodes. There'll be a card annotation and a link in the description down below for you guys to go catch up. But before we get into today's race as well, let's have a look at the standing order. We've moved up into P5 after the race win that we got at the European Grand Prix. What a race that was, by the way. Definitely one of my best races so far in the Rags to Riches series. But P5 at the moment in the championship, and we are now only 11 points away from Felipe Massa, who ranks in P4. So that is, of course, a Williams seat, but at the moment we are lacking down in a Lotus seat for next season. So we need to improve. We need to move up into P4 and try and get that Williams seat for next year. But without any further ado, let's head over to the race weekend for the British Grand Prix. Here we go then, one shot qualifying at my home Grand Prix here in Britain, and we'll be looking for a really good qualifying lap here today. I'm not too sure how the session is going to go. I've not done this circuit on F1 2010 for a whole year, of course. And yeah, I don't really know the braking points with these 2010 cars. So we're going to see how it goes. Hopefully we can still put in a good performance and get quite far up the field. But I don't think it's going to be as good as we were in the likes of Canada and, of course, Valencia. Because this car is completely sort of set up for more of the high-speed circuits like Valencia and Canada. Whereas these ones where it's more technical, tricky corners, it's going to be quite difficult for us here today. But we'll see what we can do over the rest of the lap as I've got a Ferrari. What are you doing, man? Fernando Alonso's just pile drived into the side of me. Like, I don't even know what he's doing. Here we go then, round the final corner to end this flying lap here at the British Grand Prix. It's not exactly been the best of laps here today, but hopefully it will at least get us into the top 20. What's it good enough for? 22nd position. Ah, that is terrible. That is absolutely awful here at my home Grand Prix. Ah, god dang it. That was not what I wanted at all here today at the British Grand Prix. Was hoping maybe for at least a top 20, maybe down with Kobayashi with P17, but unfortunately not good enough here at the British Grand Prix. 22nd position at a circuit which doesn't really suit the car. Unfortunately, they're a bit weird. Both Toro Rossos below me with Jaime Alguersuari and Sebastian Buemi. So it looks like neither of those guys are particularly quick around here. Hopefully, though, we don't have a similar situation like Spain, where the AI are unbelievably quick around this circuit, which makes it kind of impossible for the player to actually have a chance of beating these guys. We'll see what we can do in the race. We usually have better race pace than we do in the qualifying session. So, yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. But Mark Webber is on pole here today with Alonso in second. Lewis Hamilton on the second row of the grid with Felipe Massa alongside him in fourth. Then it's Button fifth. Sebastian Vettel in sixth. Kubica seventh with Rosberg in eighth. And Schumacher in ninth with Vitaly Petrov rounding out the top 10. Then there's my teammate of Kamui Kobayashi qualifying in P17. And there is myself right down at the back of the field. So the question is, what can we do from 22nd on the grid? Let's find out. It's race day here at the British Grand Prix with Mark Webber lining up in pole position. Fernando Alonso is in second. There's my teammate Kamui Kobayashi in 17th. And unfortunately, not a good qualifying session for myself. Way down at the back of the field in P22. But let's see if we can improve on that here at my home Grand Prix as the lights are coming on now. We go to lights out and away we go for this race, putting the wing in the up position, but I really want to put it into fast mix to try and give myself a good opportunity down the straight. Maybe have a little look up the inside on these guys down in towards turn one, but unfortunately not able to find my way through. Bruno Senna getting the better of us down towards Magnus and Beckett's now still fighting side by side with Bruno Senna. Can we follow through Beckett as we're trying our best up the inside on Bruno Senna? And there we go, job done on the HRT drive, running a little bit too wide though onto the grass, but that doesn't give Bruno Senna the opportunity to come back at us. So far, making one position in today's race. Unfortunately, not able to go for an overtake there on Karun Chandok, and that actually sort of compromised my line and allows Karun Chandok to get a little bit away from us. But now having a look up the inside, and maybe up the inside of Jarno Trulli as well, as he overtakes my teammate of Kamui Kobayashi. Here we go, up the inside through this right-hander on my teammate, side by side between the two of us. There's a little bit of contact there. Sorry about that, Kamui. I didn't really mean to make contact with my teammate, but nevertheless, I have unfortunately done so. Cutting the corner as well, and then going into the back of Jarno Trulli. So a lot of controversy going on here on the opening lap of this British Grand Prix. Just trying to keep my nose clean, though. I didn't mean to make any of those mistakes or any of those collisions. Just trying my best to keep it on the circuit and not cause too much damage. But so far, so good for a first lap. We've made up a couple of positions, but we need to keep up this momentum if we want to get points at my home Grand Prix here today. Okay, a few drivers coming into the pits a little bit early in today's race here on lap 2. I'm not too sure what lap we're coming into pits. Okay, that sort of confirms that there. We're coming into the pits on the next lap of this British Grand Prix. Right, do I come into the pits this lap or not? I feel like that's probably the best thing to do, in all honesty. My tyres are now starting to wear. So let's come into the pits. Let's make a pit stop. Where is the pit lane line? Slow for the line. I think I've just about made that. I think I just about stopped for the line there. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we did actually manage to do that. Otherwise, we're going to get a penalty if we haven't. But anyway, into the box we come. We don't run over our pit crew. And it's going to be a 4.7 second stop. So not held up there at all. And it looks like we may have actually closed up on the Force India and, of course, the Renault as well. So that's looking pretty decent. Let's see what we can do in the rest of the race zone. Whereabouts we come after the whole pit stop phase. Okay, a few more drivers into the pits at the moment. Fingers crossed we come out ahead of these guys through turn 1. Running a little bit too wide there, but I think I've got the job done. Yes, I have. Moving up into P20 now. I think that was overtaking Buemi and somebody else. But so far, this British Grand Prix is looking good. I'm not too sure whether we're going to score points or not. I feel like that is actually going to be quite unlikely. But we'll see how we do over the rest of the race. There are still more drivers to come into the pits. Of course, they'll be coming into the pits around laps 6 and 7. So let's see what happens there. Okay, we've got a few more drivers coming into the pits now, including Timo Glock, who's just entered the pit lane, my teammate, and another couple of drivers. Where am I going to be in terms of my teammate, Kamui Kobayashi? He is going to come out of the pits in front of me, in fact. So that is really disappointing. I've lost out to my own teammate. But let's see what we can do through Magnussen and Beckett, see whether we can actually gain that position back and maybe go for the overtake down the hangar straight. Here we go on Kamui Kobayashi, right on the tail of my own teammate. Of course, this isn't really for the points that we want it to be. It's for absolutely nothing, but this is still for pride, and we do want to get the job done on Kobayashi. So here we go up the... Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. Sauber are going to be absolutely furious at me after that. But anyway, now it looks like I've finally got the job done on my teammate. Can I hold it? Yes, no, yes, there we go. That was very, very aggressive against my own team. And Sauber aren't going to be happy with that. But nevertheless, I've made my way through. And we're looking now to try and catch up to Adrian Sutter, which I don't think is going to happen. But drivers should be coming into the pits within the next couple of laps. Okay, we've got another driver into the pits now. So that's going to move me up into, I believe, P15 in today's race, which it does. Not too sure who that was, but it doesn't really matter as I've moved up. And it was actually Mark Webber. Mark Webber made a second pit stop in today's race. The championship leader is going to be scoring less... Well, I say less points than me. I'm not going to be scoring any points anyway. But the championship leader isn't going to be scoring points here today. Okay, here we go then. Starting the final lap now of the British Grand Prix. And we're still way down in a very disappointing 15th position at the moment. I'm running wide. I'm cutting corners at the moment. It's not the greatest of driving from me. And probably why I'm way down in 15th position at the moment. It's a really disappointing race. And it looks like, unfortunately... Britain's not really going to be a good territory for myself. I just don't seem to do well here, especially on the old games. It seems to be a track that I definitely struggle with. Maybe it's just that AI are very, very good around this circuit, which makes it more difficult. But I still feel like my own ability isn't exactly the best around this circuit. So something that certainly I need to improve on in future games like 2011 and 2012. We'll see what we can do here next time around in those games. But for now... P15 is just not good enough, is it? Lewis Hamilton then wins his home Grand Prix. So one British driver having an absolute weldy of a race. The other one way down in P15. I'm not too sure what what Jenson Button's doing. I believe he's still in a good points position, but for myself, P15, not good enough, but very happy for Lewis Hamilton to get the race win here today as we go through the final couple of corners now through this last right-hander where we've still got technically one corner left to go, holding off Mark Webber as we come down to take the checkered flag of what has been once again a very, very disappointing home Grand Prix. And when will we finally get a good result around here? So P15 then at the British Grand Prix, not happy with the result here today as we were beaten by both of the Lotus drivers, Heikki Kovalainen and Jarno Trulli. Not a good day here today, but beating Mark Webber, Sebastian Buemi, sorry, Jaime Alguersuari, Liuzzi also beat Kamui Kobayashi as well. So we beat a few sort of midfield teams, so I'm happy with that, but at the end of the day, I need to get points, and I need to get them quickly if I want to get a Williams or a Force India seat for next season. Lewis Hamilton, though, he was the race winner here today with Fernando Alonso in second, and Jenson Button is in third with Nico Rosberg fourth. Felipe Massa finishes today's race in 5th with Vitaly Petrov 6th. Michael Schumacher in 7th. Nico Hulkenberg 8th with Rubens Barrichello 9th. And Sebastian Vettel picking up the final championship point here today. So not a good day for our two championship leaders. Let's see how they are doing in the Drivers' Championship. Mark Webber still leading the way to his teammate of Sebastian Vettel. But Lewis Hamilton really closing up the gap in today's race. Unfortunately, I've been re-overtaken by Jenson Button here today. The gap now to Felipe Massa, who is sitting in P4, is 21 points. So quite a lot of points I need to catch up to Felipe Massa, but hopefully we can do it over the rest of the season. Still a long way left to go. 9 races left to go in this season. So there is still every opportunity to get into the top 4. We just need to hope and pray that we can get some good points finishes, some more podiums, and we'll just have to wait and see. Let's have a look at the constructors standings now. BMW Sauber dropping down into P5, 10 points off of the Mercedes team. So we need to find some points in the next couple of races. I believe it's Germany which is up next, so hopefully we can get a few points there. But that's it for the British Grand Prix. Let's head back to the menus. No interviews after today's British Grand Prix, and I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest, because, you know, it wasn't a great race, and I don't really want to talk to the media after that. Not a good race, and not very good for the fans at home, because, of course, they wanted to see me do well. But unfortunately, that was not the case here today, and hopefully we can improve on that at the German Grand Prix next time around. But before we end today's episode, let's take another quick look at the standings. P6 at the moment, 78 points on board and 21 points away from a Williams seat. Quite a big gap at the moment, but a couple of good races, and we can certainly be up there, especially with the unpredictability of this 2010 season. Felipe Massa could have the next 5 races outside the points, which we've seen happen to Fernando Alonso. Of course, he came second in today's race, but he's only down in P8 in the driver's standings. So, you know, anything can happen on this game. But that's it for the British Grand Prix. If you have enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't already done so, and you are new around here. For daily Formula 1 content, we've got Rags to Riches free, F1 2017 career mode, and of course a bunch more of Formula 1 content coming to the channel in about the second week of February. So you can definitely look forward to that. And as always, don't forget to leave your comments in the section below. I want to know what you thought about today's race. Do you have previous experience of this circuit? And is it just a case of the AI being far too quick around here? Or do you feel like there is time that I probably should improve and it was my own ability? I want to know down in the comment section below. But I'll see you next time at the German Grand Prix. But until then, it's goodbye from me.